हेलो गाइस और कैसे हैं आप सब। आई होप आप सब बढ़िया होंगे। मैं भी एकदम बढ़िया हूँ। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट टुडेस पार्ट क्वेश्चन एंड द एम ऑफ दिस पार्ट क्वेश्चन इज टू राइट a C program for performing the circular shift by left by two position for the given 5 into 5 matrix. So what circular shift means by is if we take this particular row from this matrix after performing one circular shift basically means that shifting the first element present inside a row to the end, and after then we will get a row like, see, if the first row is 11 5 7 9 7. If you will shift this first element 11 to the end, the row we will get will be 5 7 9 7 11. And after we perform the circular shift one more time over this row, the final row that we will get is 7 9 7 11 5. So basically in this question we have been told to perform the circular shift two times for every row inside this matrix, and the shift has to be only performed over the left side elements, not on the right side elements. So first of all we will shift this 11 to the end, and after then the row that we will be getting is 5 7 9 7 11. And after then we will perform this circular shift one more time, and the final row that we will be having is 7 9 7 11 5. So let's start developing the code for this particular question. So here we are at our GTB compiler. So first of all what I have to do is, I have to define a 5 into 5 matrix, a 2D matrix that will contain 5 rows, and all these 5 rows will contain 5 columns. So here I have defined a 2D matrix which will be having 5 rows and 5 columns. And now I have to take input for all these elements inside this matrix. Int I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, for int j equal to 0, j less than 5, j plus plus. And now take an input as scanf %d and store it at and arr ij. So here I have developed a code to take input for this 5 into 5 matrix. Now the logic that I'm going to apply here is, first of all, for circular shifting this complete matrix by one position, what I will do is, the index value of this first element present in the first row is 0, and the index value of 5 is 1, index value of 7 is 2, index value of 9 is 3, and index value of this 7 is 4. So what I'm going to do, we basically know that the circular shift means by the first position will be occupied by 5. After a circular shift the first position will be occupied by 5, second position will be occupied by 7, third position will be occupied by 9, and the fourth position will be occupied by the first element, that is 11. So what I will do here is, I will assign the value of 0th element to the first element, and the first element to the second element, and correspondingly. First of all I'm going to run a for loop from I equal to 0 to I equal to 2, as I have to do this circular shift two times over all these rows present inside this matrix. And what this circular shift is all about, int I equal to 0, I less than 5, I less than 5, I plus plus. And now for int I equal to 0, I less than 4, I plus plus. And just I told you I'm going to assign the value of, wait a minute, int j, and this should also be j, and this should also be j. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to assign the value of jth element to j plus 1th element, because that is the real thing that happens after a circular shift. The value of first element changes to 5 in the second element, the value of second element changes to the third element, and the value of third element changes to fourth element, and the value of fifth element changes to the first element. So I'm going to run this for loop four times, this for loop in terms of j four times, so that the first element will be corresponding to the second element, second will be corresponding to the third, third will be corresponding to the fourth, and the fourth will be corresponding towards the fifth. And for the fifth element, every time this for loop runs, I'm going to store the value of the first element inside this integer variable temp, and at the end of the for loop, when all the corresponding will be done, when all the elements values will be modified, change the value of arri fourth, that is, and this element, the last element present inside this row, change the value of arr I comma 4 to temp. Okay, so what I did here is, first of all, I am running a for loop two times because I have to do this circular shift twice. After that, I'm running a for loop for int I equal to 0, I less than 5, which will go for all these rows inside this matrix, and for all these rows inside the matrix, and for all these elements inside every particular row, I'm running a for loop in terms of j, and for each jth element, I'm modifying its value from I comma j to I comma j plus 1, which means that first of all, at the very beginning, this matrix I comma j element I comma jth element stores the value 11, and after here I'm going to modify it as arr I comma j plus 1. So after this for loop condition, the first element will be containing this next corresponding element. The first element will be containing the second element, second will be containing the third will be containing the fourth. Okay, and now let's print it out. What we have found for I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, for int, wait a minute, for int, okay, for int j equal to 0, j less than 5, and now j plus plus. Printf percent %d space comma arr I comma j. So what this particular command will do, it will print all these elements present inside this matrix, and after it completes printing one row elements, then print backslash n, a line break, make a line break after it completes printing a single row element. So let's check our code for any bugs, any code errors. So first of all, we developed a code to take the input. Wait a minute, it will be and ampersand, not dollar. And here I developed a code for circular shifting two times inside this matrix for all these rows. And then what I'm doing in circular shifting is, I'm changing the value of the jth element to its j plus 1th element, and at the end of this for loop, the last element the last element will be changed to the first element present inside this matrix. Here arr I comma 4 is the last position value present inside this row, and temp, that is arr 0 comma 0, is the first element present inside this row, that is 11. So this 7 will be changed to 11, this 11 will be changed to 5, this 5 will be changed to 7, and this 7 will be changed to 9, and this 9 will be changed to 7. So let's print it out. Let's check that our code is completely correct or not. So let's check that our code is correct or not. So right now I'm entering values 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so finally we have gotten the output, which is correct, as it has shifted the matrix two times from the left position. So first of all, the given input matrix was 1 2 3 4 5. So in the first shift it got shifted to 2 3 4 5 and 1, and in the second shift it got shifted to 3 4 5 1 and then 2. So what we basically did is, in every shifting we changed the value of the ith position, that is the value of this ith position to its I plus 1th position. So this was the easiest way to solve today's PAT question in C language. So if you have liked my way of explanation, don't forget to like and subscribe my channel and share this video tutorial with all your friends. So this was me, Utkarsh, signing off for the day. Thank you. Have a nice day. Keep learning, keep coding.